It's The Loan Show on KSRO with George Adair. Call in with your questions now at 636-1350.
Hey, good afternoon, Sonoma County. My name is George Adair. Thank you for tuning in to The Loan Show on KSRO. This is the show where we discuss everything mortgage, how it impacts your life, and how to improve your personal balance sheet. Hey, give us a call in the studio. Our number here direct is 636-1350, 636-1350. The show goes along a lot better when you call, because instead of me just rapping about stuff that I know about, I get to answer questions about stuff you know about. So give me a ring. Let's talk about mortgage issues, any mortgage issues. Let's talk about your questions you have about your current loan. Let's talk about questions you have about maybe getting out of your current loan. Let's talk about HARP. Let's talk about modifications. Let's talk about credit challenges. I have some topics to kick us off, but before we go there, I just want to give you a little bit of my background. I am a licensed real estate broker and NMLS licensee, which means I can originate loans here in the state of California. I'm third generation mortgage and real estate guy. So I've been doing this for about a decade now. I think I've got a lot of good information to help people. At least I think I have a lot of good information. My wife thinks some of it's good information. We have a few different ways for you to reach out to us. I work at Bay Equity Home Loans. We're on the corner of 4th and E Street in downtown Santa Rosa. It's a brick building. It's very nice. It's housed many former mortgage lenders before us, but we're there and we're going to be there for a while. So come on in and say hello to us. We get a lot of walk-in traffic, actually. You can also call us at Bay Equity Home Loans and speak to one of my team members. We're all licensed loan officers. The Bay Equity line is 583-8100. So call 583-8100 if you have questions about your loan that you can't get on the air. Another way to reach us is to email me. I have a nice KSRO-specific email address. It's called loanshow@ksro.com, or check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/Bay Equity Loans.
People can find you anywhere.
Folks, I'm very reachable.
But the nice thing is that during this half hour, people can actually call in, talk with you, and get some real solid advice that right here, free on the air. So 636-1350, 636-1350.
And I wish you would. I got a lot of calls this past 5 days since we did the last show. You know, we do this show every Wednesday at 12:30. And I got a lot of calls from people who didn't think of calling us while we were on the air, but they call in and somebody would answer at my office and they'd say, hey, I want to talk to that guy who was on the radio show. Well, again, my name's George Adair. I'm here to answer your questions live on the radio, so call me here, 636-1350. Okay, hey, today we're going to talk about something that really is the foundation of getting your loan done, which is home valuation. And many of you have gone through the process of getting an appraisal done with your mortgage lender. It used to be a lot simpler. You know, it used to be back in the day I had my favorite appraisers, and I could just simply go to them and say, hey, Bob. I actually had two appraisers named Bob. Hey, Bob, I've got a property that I need to get refinanced, and here's the deal that we're trying to do, and here's our target value that we're trying to hit. There was nothing wrong with it back then. And my appraisers were always very honest and shot me down sometimes. They said, oh, you're not going to get that value. But sometimes they knew that that was the value we were trying to work with. When you buy a house, they take a look at the contract, and appraisers will use the contract price as one of the features of determining value, or one of the predictive features. Today, it's a lot more challenging to get your home appraised before you get a loan done. You don't necessarily know what the value is. So I wanted to give some people some ideas on things that impact home prices. Also, it depends on what kind of loan you're qualifying for. If you get an FHA loan or a VA loan, the appraised value is part of it, but the appraisal report itself has a lot of important details that the underwriter will use. So it's not always so simple just to qualify for an FHA loan because you have good credit and income, but also the property has to qualify. If you're trying to refinance, I think one of the biggest issues I have is people think their house is worth more than it is. And there's also two different types of value that people don't really gauge. And this is in the practical world. Technically speaking, there's three different ways that appraisers determine value. But in the practical world, there's saleable value, in other words, what could you market and sell your house for, could be totally different than what a lender says your house is worth or an appraiser says your house is worth for loan purposes. The reason is a listing agent may tell you, hey, you can get $600,000 for your house because that's what the market will bear and that's what someone will come and pay for your house. And they'll use current trends. They'll use current valuation techniques. We call it competitive market analysis. They might do a broker price opinion, and they'll give you their honest to goodness idea. And honestly, until somebody makes an offer, it's really just an estimate, okay? But then there's appraised value, and appraised value for the purpose of getting a loan looks at historical data, and it can go back all the way 6 months. And I've got some figures here. You know that today. Average median home price in Sonoma County is about $323,000, and a year ago it was $326,000. So we've had a pretty flat market for median home prices, but home prices over $600,000-$700,000 range have started to fall for the last couple of years, and they've continued to fall. I have a theory on that. I may or may not have invented this theory, but let's just say I did because it makes me feel good about myself. I call it compression. Basically, you have a floor that's established from entry-level houses. Mm-hmm. There's more of them than there are the custom luxury houses. So that floor is established, and that creates sort of like the bottom of the housing market. Well, those house prices have actually started to go up a little bit over the last few months. And then you have all these custom, nice luxury or bigger parcels or 5,000 square foot houses or even 3,500 square foot houses in, over off Montecito or maybe up in Skyhawk. Mm-hmm. And those houses, there's less demand for them. It's not because people don't want to live in a nice house in Skyhawk. The problem is they can't afford it, but they can't get financing for it. Yeah. The current conforming loan limits for what we call an agency jumbo loan, that's technical jargon for a loan amount that's higher than the average conforming loan amount. That is set at $662,500 in Sonoma County. So if you have a loan amount that's $700,000 or $800,000, you have to go to a portfolio lender. Now, we offer those programs at Bay Equity Home Loans. So if you do find yourself wanting to go into the market to buy a house like that, you can call us or drop in and we can help you get financing. But majority of lenders are not offering that kind of financing. And it's because it's a portfolio loan. It has its own rules and regulations. Usually requires more income, requires a larger down payment, and the rates are not as attractive. So that creates a problem in the supply and demand curve. Now, I wasn't really good at microeconomics, but I did at least understand basic movement of supply and demand curve. And basically, if people can't buy the houses, if they can't get the financing, then they're going to have a hard time sustaining the median home price. The upper end of a median home price index. So anyways, I call it compression because what happens is those are squeezing down in value. The entry-level houses are squeezing and creating a floor, and you end up with a lot more closer price per square foot than you would have in of a more stable market. What does that mean? Hey, if you want to go out and buy a $700,000, $800,000 house and you have the means to do it, it's a great time because I think we're getting to that compression point where they're not going to be able to fall much more before the buyers are just picking them up and scooping them up. Yeah. Yeah. So I think if you're in that market, you can get a $600,000, $700,000 house, put down 20%, and your loan payment will be very affordable, somewhere around $3,000, $3,500. So it's something that a lot of people are interested in doing, and we talk to people about it all the time. So statistics are an important way for us to look at valuation. We're going to look at how market trends are impacting a neighborhood. You may find that there's a market adjustment on an appraisal. That's because there was a house that was sold 6 months ago, and maybe the market trended down over the last 6 months by 5%. So there might be an adjustment on your value for that. So these are the components of an appraisal that generally frustrate mortgage lenders and folks like myself because we know the house is worth more than the appraisal is, and it's so frustrating. You get a borrower, they've put a lot of money into their house, and it's just not really supporting the value that they need to get a loan. I will tell you, issues with value are commonly around how much money you put into the house. A lot of people think, hey, I put 50 grand into my new deck and my pool or my new kitchen, and that should translate into a $50,000 increase in value. And unfortunately, in today's market, it just doesn't. So you want to be aware that your improvements to your house don't necessarily translate, over to an actual value increase in a 1-to-1 type ratio. If you are curious about how much your house is worth, there are some free tools you can use online. I don't advocate these tools. I'm not a sponsor for these companies. It'd be nice if they paid me to say this, but you could go to ZILLOW.com or TRUELIA. I think it's TRULIA, something like that. And then those two specific websites, you type in your address, and you're going to get a whole list of advertisers and everybody trying to get you to sell your house with them or get a loan with them. But at least you get an idea of what the sales comps are. Another way to get an idea for your home value is give us a call at Bay Equity. And the office number at Bay Equity is 583-8100. So call 583-8100, and one of our loan officers there will be able to use some of our resources, which are a little more detailed than Zillow.com, and give you a good idea on the value of your home. I'd be happy to do that for you for free, just so that you can get an idea if it's something that is going to be at the right valuation for you to qualify for a loan. So we are going to head into our next break here in just a second, but I'm going to let you know the next segment we're going to talk about is basically credit. Having good credit's really important. So we're going to talk about some simple ways you can improve your credit and give you some tips on how you can do it in an expedited manner. So if you're standing by your phone, give us a call here in the studio. That's 636-1350. 636-1350 is going to get you direct to me so I can answer your questions live on the air. We're going to break right now. We'll be back in just a moment.
To find out more about Bay Equity Home Loans, call George Adair at 707-583-8100. That's 707-583-8100.
Hey there, Sonoma County. If you're paying over 5% for your mortgage, or maybe you're underwater with your mortgage, you need to stop and listen to this message. I'm George Adair with Bay Equity Home Loans here in Santa Rosa. We're helping homeowners save hundreds every month and thousands every year. We're offering a 30-year fixed-rate loan at 4%, and best of all, it's at 0 points. You heard me right, 4% fixed rate at 0 points. Call Bay Equity today at 583-8100. Don't delay. Call us today at 583-8100. We can show you how refinancing into a low fixed rate can save you thousands on your mortgage. Please call 583-8100 and call and ask about the new refinance program for homes that are underwater. The time for a low fixed rate home loan is now. Bay Equity is your home for loans. Call us at 583-8100.
30-year fixed APR 4.12%. Licensed by the Department of Corporations, number 6053919. NMLS number 238915. Equal housing lender. Rate subject to change. Hit a home run of savings now during G&G Supermarket's Spring Training Celebration. Win a tailgate party 4-pack of groceries, gas, and 4 tickets to a Giants A's game or a T&B Sports $100 gift certificate. Enter now through this Saturday's live broadcast from 11 until 2. Score instant prizes and enjoy food sampling. Plus, catch savings on these fine products.
G&G is pleased to now offer delicious Coleman Natural Pork. Coleman Pork is fast becoming a favorite with G&G customers because of Coleman's commitment to provide premium pork products that nourish the health and well-being of your family. Coleman's passion for natural and organic extends to the ecosystem, focusing on sustainable land, water, and soil conservation for future generations. You'll appreciate the delicious flavor and the peace of mind Coleman Natural Pork delivers. G&G's live free Cooking in Sonoma show this Saturday will demonstrate recipes featuring Coleman Pork. See, sample, and savor Coleman Natural Pork this Saturday.
G&G Supermarkets in Petaluma and Santa Rosa.
Hi, Jill. What's wrong?
Hey, Sally. My garbage disposal quit working this morning, and my toilet is still backing up. I feel like my house is falling apart. The kitchen is too small, and the bathroom is straight out of the 70s. I need a good contractor and a good handyman, but they're so expensive.
Jill, if that's what you really think, then you don't know Jack.
What?
Hi, I'm Kurt Jones, owner, jack of all trades, general contractor, and handyman service. With just a phone call and a free estimate,